Hello, welcome to art class. Let's talk about lines, first graders. Here are some lines. There are lots of different types of lines. Here are some that I use every day. This is a straight line and then a wavy line. This is called a mountain line. It's nice and jagged. This is called a castle line. This is a cloud line. This is a chain line. See, it's just little circles connected. This is a wave line. This is a dashed line, this is a curly line, and then this is a puzzle line. Today we are going to be drawing pumpkins. Some of the supplies that you will be needing are coloring supplies, paper, and paint if you have it. If you don't have paint, that's okay. You don't need to use paint. You can use any coloring supplies that you have. Go ahead and get your supplies and come on back. Here are some of the lines that you can use to draw on your pumpkin. If you need to, feel free to come back to this point in the video and look at the lines when it is time to draw them.
Pumpkin, pumpkin on the ground. Pumpkin, pumpkin fat and round. Pumpkin, pumpkin, it's your day. Let me see you make a face. Happy pumpkin.
Okay, first graders, so I have my paper out, I have my paint and my water. If you guys don't have paint, don't worry. You can use crayons, colored pencils, markers, whatever you would like for this project. I'm going to be starting with crayons and then I'm going to add paint later on. So the first thing that you're going to do is, also if you are painting, do not do paint on this step. Make sure you use a pencil or a crayon. So I'm going to take my black crayon and I'm going to draw a big oval on my paper. Just like this. This is going to be the base for my pumpkin. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some curving lines going down my pumpkin. And I'm trying to follow the way that the pumpkin is going. So see how in the middle I curved this one this way and this one this way? This is because the pumpkin is going out. Now that I have that done, I'm going to add a stem to my pumpkin by kind of drawing this sort of shape. It kind of looks like a rectangle on top. You could also add a little curly to your pumpkin. That would be like the vine that the pumpkin's on, or you could add like a leaf. I'm going to do like this and then add some leaves onto my pumpkin. Awesome, so my pumpkin drawing is good. So now it's remember I just did an oval, some lines, a square, and some curlies. The next thing that you guys are going to do is you're going to pick a color of crayon. I'm going to start with pink. And you're going to pick one of the lines that we drew before, and you are going to draw it in one of these sections. So I'm going to start over here, and I'm going to start by doing a wavy line. And I'm trying to fill it into the whole section. So there, I have my pink wavy line. Now I'm going to pick another color. I'm going to do green. And I'm going to do a zigzag line now in this section. And I might even add another one going the other way, so it's kind of like crisscross. There we go, that's kind of fun. Now I'm going to add a line in this section. I'm going to add the dash line. And I'm going to do a couple of these to fill up the space. You guys only have to do one line, but I think sometimes when you do a couple, it really makes it look cool. There, now I have that line, or those lines. Now I'm going to do one of those curly lines, kind of like how I did this curly little vine. I'm going to use red. Awesome. And then in my last section over here, I need one more line. I'm going to do the wave line. I'm going to use blue. Awesome. So now each section of my pumpkin has a different line in it. Once you have gotten to this point, The next step is to be filling in this extra white space with color. If you used crayons to draw these lines, I definitely recommend using colored pencils or markers to color them in so that you can see a difference between the crayon line and the background, which is this white area. Once again, I said I was going to be using paint, so I'm going to be showing you guys how to fill it in with paint if you decide to do that. If you're not using paint, don't worry, that's totally fine. Just make sure you are doing the same things I'm doing, except with whatever coloring supplies you're using. So I'm going to start with pink. I'm going to find the pink on my palette. So I dipped my brush in the water and I dipped it in the pink, and now I'm just going to slowly fill in. Now this is kind of where the magic happens. The crayon still should show through the paint. The materials that are in a crayon are very special. They're made with wax, and wax is known to still show through. So if you look very closely, you can see that my lines are still there. It might show up better on one of these other ones. Let's try another one. So I'm going to wash my brush in my water, and I'm going to collect some green. There, that one shows a little better. So as you can see, as I'm painting in my green section, and I'm really trying to stay nicely in the lines, the crayon lines are actually pulling through. So you can see them coming through right there. Pretty cool. So I'm gonna try to make my paint nice and even. And I also got a little bit of paint over here, so I'm just gonna kind of move it with my finger. And then I'm going to fill in that with some more rose gold. Perfect. So now I'm going to wash my brush again, and now I got to do this orange section. So I'm going to wash my brush really nice and good, and then I'm going to put my paintbrush in my orange, and I'm going to take some orange, and I'm going to paint the orange area. This almost looks like gold. I really like this. Right, now I'm gonna wash off my brush. Now I need to do this red section. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I washed my brush, I'm getting my red paint. I'm going to fill it right in. Awesome, now I'm gonna wash off my brush one last time, and I'm going to get my blue paint and fill in the blue section. All right, now the main part of my pumpkin is painted. Now there's a couple other areas to paint, like the stem and the leaves. So I'm going to paint the leaves green. I'm going to take my water, and then I'm going to dip my brush in the green, and I'm going to paint them. Now remember, you don't have to use paint. If you are using crayon, that's totally cool. Just make sure you're doing the same coloring that I'm doing with my paint. So whatever I'm coloring with my paint, you should be coloring with your crayon or marker or colored pencil or whatever it is that you are using. And I'm also turning my paper so that I'm not dipping my hand in my paint as I'm painting. Awesome, so now my leaves are painted green. I'm gonna wash that brush and I'm gonna pick a color for my stem. I think I'm gonna use this rose gold color because it almost looks a little brown to me. And there, I am now finished with my pumpkin. Since I used paint, I am now going to set my project on a table to dry, and I will come back when it's dry. So I let my pumpkin dry for about an hour, and now it looks perfect. It's all nice and dry, not going to get paint anywhere. And I think it turned out wonderful. Make sure you guys fill out that Google form for this week. And remember, if you don't have paint at home, that's totally okay. You can use crayons, markers, whatever you can think of. You could use pens if you wanted to for color. So don't worry about not having paint. I just wanted to show you guys an option for if you had it. I hope you guys enjoyed the project today. Please don't forget to fill out that Google form so you get credit. Hi again, first graders. I hope you had a wonderful time working on your lined pumpkins today. I cannot wait to see them. I'm sure they turned out wonderful. Make sure you guys go on and fill out the Google form for this week's class. I hope you had a wonderful time, and I can't wait to see you again next week. Bye.